Hi, everyone. Good to see you again. Monica Dina Hupperts of Whole Heart Energy Healing here. Welcome to day 17 of your Stairway to Sovereignty, Forgoing Fears for Freedom. We're here talking about that dreaded F word and facing it and tossing fear out on its ear, giving you freedom and putting you into a fun and fabulous new year. When you look really close at it, fear serves a purpose. It is intended to get our attention. It's a messenger. However, once the issue at hand has your attention, feeling fear is no longer helpful. It's now time to take action in a different direction instead of staying in its tight grip. During this series, we're taking on a challenge to recognize how fears in our thoughts, our attitudes, our ideas and beliefs can negatively control how we think, act, and feel. We're exploring the use of fear as a messaging system and putting it to work for us instead of thinking it's against us. Instead of shooting the messenger, we're listening to the message so we can course correct and carry on. Yesterday we talked about feeling powerless and being powerless over your loved one's health issues and how you're able to live with it. When you find yourself worrying yourself sick about things happening to people that you care about, you live in a hellish state of fear. As most would rather not deal with this at all, especially if the illness involves the possible or even probable death of a loved one, the only solution is to focus on the love you feel for them. Look after yourself and do what you can to help yourself as well. Perhaps you could find comfort in the words of the Serenity Prayer. Some of us just aren't experiencing that type of fear right now, thank goodness. It's not an easy one to deal with, but equally not easy to deal with is experiencing the scary, fearful feelings when someone else is angry and being afraid at someone else's anger. So today's episode is called, Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf? How do I work with my fear of other people's anger? I'm terrified of conflict. My stomach churns at the thought of someone being angry at me. I spend a lot of energy trying to please others. It never occurred to me to stand up for myself in that relationship. Fear of anger means I don't stand up for myself at home, at work, most anywhere else. You can't stop people from being angry at you, but you can change how you feel about it. So this is another feeling people often develop in childhood. You don't know how to express yourself when that feeling comes up at that age. And you feel frozen in fear and emotionally hijacked. It's terrifying. Instinctually, you try to please them in order to appease them. You back down, back away, and you try to do anything and everything to bring their anger down a notch or two. When you look small and hapless and non-threatening, it gives the other person who is angry a smaller target to focus on. Also instinctually, which then often becomes habitually, you can feel that if you were to stand up for yourself and question their motives or argue back, that their anger would only increase and you would feel even more fearful. That's awful. It's paralyzing. Fear is so uncomfortable. When I was looking back how I dealt with fear, it was a bit eye-opening. It was interesting to note that even when no one has actually screamed at me, Or anytime I heard raised voices, I would still either fall apart or feel fearful and often convinced that it must have had something to do with me. And if it actually did have something to do with me, it ruins my whole day until the matter is resolved. I find sometimes I fall all over myself trying to smooth things over, and I can't calm down until the other person has. It is extremely disruptive in my life. And I'll bet that's true for you too. You find yourself trying to avoid doing things that have set them off in the past, but you can't plan for other people's anger. Often people feel angry with themselves then that they've gone on into such people-pleasing modes, or fuming because you can't give in, or you had to give in, and you gave up whatever upset the person said or wanted you to do, and you ended up doing it. So if you look closely, you'll recognize that your reactions to external experience actually derive from your internal thoughts and emotions, usually conditioned by past experience. There are some reasons why you might feel fearful of anger. You fear that the other person will retaliate. You self-sabotage in interpersonal relationships. How about this? Even though you feel taken advantage of, your own low self-esteem prevents you from standing up for yourself. Sometimes a deeply entrenched view of yourself as undeserving or inadequate prevents you from distinguishing between healthy and unhealthy relationships. You may fear that you'll hurt the other person if you become angry, especially when you work hard to protect them or keep them happy. Because of previous critical relationships, you may freeze up. And finally, you may have a problem in maintaining an attachment or connection to another person when you are angry, so you fear you'll lose the relationship. When someone with whom you're interacting becomes angry, that's out of your control. What is within your control is how you meet it. Despite hurt feelings, you can meet other people's anger with patience, kindness, firmness, and balance, rather than fear and retaliation. It is possible to transform conditioned reactions that do not serve into unconditioned responses. And yes, this too is easier said than done. Qualities of being less fearful take consistent and faithful practice, which then leads to integrated development of these qualities, which progressively transforms reactivity into new responses. You can remind yourself that you're not a child, you are not in danger. You can speak as an adult. Define our own reactions. Just say, I see what you're yelling. Sorry, I see that you're yelling. Or, you seem to be angry. Yes, it sounds a little obvious, yet stating the obvious can be quite useful. It can also be beneficial to your own nervous system. If you just observe and report your case saying, you know, you're yelling at me and it's making me upset. Or you seem really, really angry, and then leave it at that and watch what happens. You need to do what you're capable of doing in the moment. If you feel the need to apologize or shrink or just freeze and listen, then do that. But when you're away and safe, that's when you can start working on a possible plan of action that will help you be and feel more self-assured. It doesn't matter if your actions remain the same. How you cope and get over such an attack is what is important. The odd thing is that the other person will usually pick up on your new energy and treat you differently. They won't even know why they feel that way, and you may not see their new reaction. But so what? As long as you are feeling more in control of you, that's the first best step towards a healthier you. And it can only go up from there. Really, really. The major way you learn to regulate and relate to your own emotions are through relationships. Doing something proactive can provide opportunity to have healthy giving and receiving relations with appropriate and productive expression of irritation in a way that can enhance rather than destroy you or your relationships. Keep on keeping on. It takes awareness, willingness, and alignment with your goals in order to achieve them. If you're still feeling overwhelmed by this type of fear, book a session with me and together we'll kick your fear out on its rear. There are healing techniques that can help you to become more at peace with it all. Let's book a healing session so you can experience freedom from your fears. I have a course in the making that will be of great benefit. I know that it will help you make your achieving your goals faster, easier, and more efficient. You deserve a more balanced and happier life. Message me if you have questions and would like to have more information. I hope that you're supported during this quest and can find someone to go along with you on your journey. Let's do this together. Together is better. Use the link below called Getting to Know You, and I'll post that in a moment, and we'll explore what you want to achieve in life and move forward in a happier way of being. Monica Dina Huppert's Full Heart Energy Healing. This has been day 17 of your Stairway to Sovereignty, Forgoing Fears for Freedom, so you can get a new year, a new decade, and a new you off to an abundant new start. Now, before I say my last tagline, I put out a little announcement saying I'm going to do something that I'm feeling a little bit fearful of. But I thought if I'm asking you to go ahead and do something to help you get over your fears, then I'm going to face my fears too. Hope you're ready. Here goes. When I'm fearful and feeling scared, I feel much better when I'm prepared. And I fall asleep counting my blessings. If you're worried and cannot sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll fall asleep counting your blessings. Cheers to your success, everyone. And I'll post the links in just a moment below. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, and before I say, I just want to say thank you for Amanda, Kim, and Diane. I didn't even see you sneak in there, Diane, for watching the live videos. I hope you enjoyed it and don't have too much ringing in your ears. Take care. Bye-bye.